So, Amy, I'm going to go ahead and officially call the May Commission Sustainability meeting to order. I'm Mia Blum. I'm the co-chair of the Commission Sustainability, and Jared Lyles.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome.
And we'll just go ahead and get started with just some official commissioner business while we are waiting. For all the commissioners, you should have a message in your inbox from Amy encouraging you to go ahead and submit the application if you are indeed planning on remaining on the commission so that we can move forward with the process. We do have a nominating committee that has been pulled together and will be reviewing applications, and that's Mia Blum, Jared Lyles, Nicolette, Louis Saint, Morgan Grove, and Inez Robb. So we'll be reviewing the applications as they come in so that the commission can make a recommendation to be voted on by our body, and then will be made a recommendation to the mayor. So just wanted to let you all know about that. We hope to have this process completed by our June 18th meeting so that we can have just a pure business meeting in June, where we typically just have the open house, but we do need to move this issue forward. So those are the only updates that we have from the commission perspective. Do any commissioners have any questions? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to hand it over to Ava, I believe, for office updates.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Can you? Yep. Can you hear me okay? Yep. Yes. Okay. There's our. Okay. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the May monthly Commission on Sustainability meeting tonight. We're really excited to be continuing our topic, focusing on kind of all things related to environmental literacy, but going beyond that, and really today diving into the need to change behaviors as our climate is changing. And so, announcements from the team. We are still recruiting for our watershed analyst, and if you know anyone that's interested, I think we've gotten a good number of applicants so far, but we are still accepting applications for that, and we'll be having interviews soon. And just as a reminder to folks, the office was awarded a grant to support the drafting of a watershed master plan. And that watershed master plan, or that grant, will fund the watershed analyst's role and position. And so we're looking forward to sharing more updates about that later this year. And then some other general updates in terms of some general events coming up. We do have the voice, we have an opportunity for people to kind of like share their opinions and voice their thoughts as it relates to children connecting to outdoors. And so feel free to scan the QR code, and we can drop the information for that particular link in the chat as well, so that you can provide your thoughts and perspectives as we are really figuring out from the Baltimore Children Connecting to Nature work that our previous colleague, Abby Koch, had led, and that Ebony Smith is now leading with a grant that we received from Nature Everywhere, how we can ensure the Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights lives up to its goals in terms of really getting children outside and ensuring that all children have access to nature as a basic human right, or as a basic right. And on the next slide, because I think that was it, we talked about the commission recruitment in our annual open house, which is coming up next month on June 28th. It'll take place on a Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. We are currently accepting applications for organizations that may be interested in tabling at the event. So if you are interested in having your organization table, or other organizations, please help us get the word out about that. We're trying to get those invitations out to organizations now. We will be hosting the event at the Carroll Park Recreation Center in South Baltimore. So really looking forward to that. And again, this year, the theme being community resilience and climate literacy, all very important themes across the different plans that we manage in our goals as an office. And just please make sure to mark your calendars. We'll also drop a link in the chat for folks to be able to register through the Eventbrite link as well. And as a reminder, the open house, we have free food, free plants, free trees, and really a great opportunity for our residents and any stakeholders across the city that care about climate and related issues to learn about groups doing the work on the ground and connect with that work through really exciting and engaging tabling and interactive displays. And so with that, I think I will pass things back to Jared and Mia to provide commission updates. And thanks again so much, everyone, for joining this evening.
Thank you, Ava. I think at this time, before we provide commission updates, I'm just going to do a really quick roll call for all the commissioners. So Mia Blum.
Present.
I am present. Jared Lyles, Regina Boyce.
Present.
Donzel Brown.
Present.
Phil Costa, let us know he couldn't be here today. Gary Crum. Lisa Ferretto.
Present.
Grove.
Present.
Earl Johnson. Nicolette Louis-Saint is excused here. Let us know she can be here. Councilwoman Porter. Inez Robb. I thought I saw Miss Robb somewhere here. I think she actually just raised her hand. I'll come back. Brian Smith. Stephanie Smith. And Ben Zychek.
Present.
Okay. So as Mia mentioned before, we are actively looking, or we are actively working on the commission to select new commissioners. So again, just a reminder, if you want to reapply for the commission, submit your application, which I have to do myself. Other than that, let's see. So we do have a hold the date for June 18th at 4 p.m. for a business only meeting in June for commissioners. So this is more of a business meeting and not like the typical meetings. And we wanted to let folks know to hold the date on their calendar. Anything else, Mia?
Nope, that's it. I think we're ready to go to the full agenda. And so I believe we're handing it over to Valerie.
Actually, I'll kick things off. Usually we kind of introduced the topic of, looking at the chat. So Regina had asked Saturday, June 28th. That's the date of the open house. So the annual open house will be at the Recreation Center in Carroll Park. And usually that replaces a meeting held in June.
I'm sorry. Respectfully, I understand that. He mentioned a meeting. I'm assuming ahead of that with commissioners, a private meeting.
It won't be a private meeting. It's just a business only meeting on June 18th.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Which is our standard Wednesday.
Thank you.
And as we get closer to that date, I'll send out more information and we'll have more coordination around what that'll be. Kicking off our speakers for the month around the topic of changing behavior and a changing climate. Usually we kick off the speakers with information about how the topic connects to the plans. And this is kind of a different topic as far as it's not a specific topic area that has a section in the plans. It's more of an overarching concept of one of the ways that we implement the sustainability plan and the climate action plan is to look at our own behaviors and how we can implement changes that support those actions. And so a lot of the speakers today will be sharing information on how resources and information that's available. For instance, DOT services and programs that they have available that'll help support folks thinking about greener commutes. We have our waste fellows who'll be talking about food waste reduction and ideas around changing your diet in ways that reduces the carbon impacts of that. And we also have Jessa from the Station North Tool Library who will share information that what they offer, things that are helpful to be able to borrow materials or supplies or tools rather than having to buy those things, and also the various classes and training resources that they have so that you can learn how to gain skills that help you rather than needing to get rid of something if it's broken or requires repair, that you can gain skills to be able to repair and repurpose items. And kicking off our speakers, we have Anna Marshall, who's a senior environmental planner with the Baltimore Metropolitan Council, and she'll be sharing information about the region's comprehensive climate action plan. And we can stop sharing our slides and I'll make Anna a presenter.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and share my slides. And you all see the slides?
Yes, you might want to make it full screen. Yeah, there you go.
Did that work? Okay, perfect. All right. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me. I'm Anna Marshall. I'm a senior environmental planner at Baltimore Metropolitan Council, and I'm going to be providing an overview about the Baltimore Region Comprehensive Climate Action Plan. So this Comprehensive Climate Action Plan, also referred to as a CCAP, is part of a deliverable in the Climate Pollution Reduction Grants, which is a grant through the US EPA. And back in March, let's see, I guess 2023 is when these grants were began, and it's through the IIJA. And the EPA provided the grants to states, local governments, tribes, and territories to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and other harmful air pollution. And the Baltimore Metropolitan Council applied for and received this $1 million planning grant for the Baltimore region, and is the lead agency of this grant. And the agency and project team for the CCAP includes Baltimore Metropolitan Council, ICLEI, which is a technical consultant helping with greenhouse gas inventory. And we have McCormick Taylor, who is leading the development of the plan and helping with public engagement and drafting. And then our Baltimore Region CPRG Steering Committee. And the steering committee consists of Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Anne Arundel County, Carroll County, Harford County, Howard County, Queen Anne's County, and also input from Maryland Department of the Environment. So MDE is leading the state CPRG plan, and they've been a good agency to have input for our regional plan. The CCAP covers climate action planning in the region, and so as much as possible, we've been integrating existing climate action plans or sustainability plans and programs that are existing in each jurisdiction, so it can help focus the CCAP development as well. So the greenhouse gas inventory shows the sources of greenhouse gases in the region, and almost half of the pollution comes from the transportation and mobile sources. As you can see, it's about 45%. And this is like cars, buses, other vehicles on roads. And then the next biggest source is energy from residential or commercial energy. And this is from things like heating and cooling buildings or office spaces, things like that. So a lot of this is to look at as a region. So looking at this really helps us determine what we can do to best reduce greenhouse gas emissions and what the best greenhouse gas reduction measures would be to include in the comprehensive climate action plan. And the goal of the CCAP is to set a plan for how the Baltimore region can reduce greenhouse gas emissions and also help meet state goals. And reduction targets were set in the preliminary climate action plan, which was submitted to the EPA in, I think June 2024, so almost a year ago. And that's available on the Baltimore Metropolitan Council website, and it also can be found on the EPA website. But so there's reduction targets set in that plan, and then the CCAP kind of builds upon those targets. And we set reduction measures and how we can meet these targets. And ICLEI will help us determine greenhouse gas projections to be developed to show different scenarios based on implementing the projects and plans. So the targets that are in our plan are consistent with the Climate Solutions Now Act of 2022 and other state goals. So it's to reduce greenhouse gas emissions 60% by 2031 and then be net zero by the year 2045. So some of our reduction measures from the preliminary climate action plan were to reduce transportation-related emissions, electrify cars and trucks, reduce building and energy-related emissions, reduce trash emissions, carbon dioxide, provide support for local governments, and engage residents in the Baltimore region. And under these 7 measures, actions were developed as ways that these measures could be implemented. And during the beginning phases of the CCAP development, which kind of started in the fall and early this year, these actions were taken and refined by the steering committee and the team, and they're included as greenhouse gas reduction measures in the CCAP. And I can explain a little bit more on the next slide. So for the refining the different measures, so the preliminary plan had 52 actions, and then from our public comment period, which was in the fall of 2024, and pop-up events, there is 5 different events that engaged the community. The steering committee ranked those measures and kind of refined it to 26 that were of importance to the region. And then from there, looking at the EPA guidance outline and having discussions with the steering committee, we combined and reworded measures and refined it more. And at the moment, we're working to finalize the measures and draft the plan and it become, so hopefully that the next step is reviewing it and making sure that it's implementable. And each measure is, we're following the EPA guidelines for the CPRG CCAP. And so each measure has to have a authority to implement, so that it's basically saying who will take action, who will own each measure and make sure that it's something that can be implemented. Each measure will have a timeline and milestones and metrics for tracking progress. There will be a quantified greenhouse gas emission reduction and the cost to implement each measure, as well as funding sources that are currently available to help implement the measure. So this CCAP is due to the EPA on December 1st, 2025. And as I've explained, it's kind of expanding on the original greenhouse gas measures that were set in the preliminary plan. Each emission sources will be described in a greenhouse gas inventory. And currently the team has been working with each jurisdiction to make sure that existing projects and programs are included. And there's 20 measures, and they're from 5 sectors: transportation, buildings, solid waste, nature-based solutions, and governance. Just a little about our public comment period from fall 2024. We had 287 total responses. And at the graph here on the bottom left, you can see that 62% of survey respondents said they're very much affected by climate change, and 21% said they're somewhat affected. And so those numbers are important in our planning, because we want to find ways that we can help reduce the impacts of climate change through this plan. And 60% of survey respondents were also interested in learning about programs and rebates to make their homes more energy efficient. On the right-hand side here, most people in our region get around by personal car or motorcycle owned by them or someone else. There's also a fair amount of respondents who said that they prefer walking, public transit, and then bicycle, and then the rest, rideshare, rental scooter, and carpooling. And then ways that we can address climate change together. The most responses was public transit improvements, and then more parks and green space was next. And that aligns well with some of the measures that are being drafted right now. For example, we have one of our measures is to implement complete streets, transit-oriented development initiatives to expand active transportation, such as walking, biking, and use of public transit. And we also have a measure that to advance policies to encourage higher density housing near transit stops. So based on some of these survey responses, the measures were refined to include ways where we can hopefully encourage more transit use and reducing personal car use. So what's next for the CCAP? So we're hoping that they'll be available for public review in the fall, and then it will be completed and submitted to the EPA December 1st, 2025. And before I wrap up, just a quick note. So the BMC, while this isn't related to the CPRG process, but BMC also supports the Baltimore Regional Transportation Board and the 2026 to 2029 Transportation Improvement Program and Air Quality Conformity Determination were just released, and they're out right now for public comment until June 15th. And so I just wanted to quickly plug about that and let you know some of the projects that are in Baltimore City through our TIP. So there's 59 federally funded and regionally significant projects in the city out of 172 total. And that equates to $3.32 billion in proposed funds for these projects, including highway, transit, bicycle, and pedestrian projects, and projects to maintain and operate and expand the transportation system. Some of the projects include planning study for the West Baltimore United project and the surrounding neighborhoods. And this project is related to the Highway to Nowhere project. And there'll be new protected bike lanes on Washington Street, planning and public engagement for the Red Line, 18 bridge repairs and replacements across the city, and adding a dedicated bus lane on Charles Street and other multimodal investments near Penn Station. So you can learn more about that on these two links here. There's a public input webpage that provides a recording of an overview of these projects, and then a story map with an interactive map. You can click around and see the different projects in our TIP. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And here's my email and contact information. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. We'll see if we have any questions in the chat for you. And I added to the chat links to the story map you mentioned and also the public input link that you'd mentioned.
Oh, thank you. Perfect.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is Morgan. I had a question in the chat, which is I think that these analyses often look at and should be applauded for looking at what the sources are for greenhouse gases, but they typically ignore what are the sinks. You know, what is actually being taken up in terms of greenhouse gases, and what's the opportunity with management to, well, policy planning and management to create even more sinks. So the one type of analysis is avoidance. The other kind of complementary analysis is also, how can we improve the ability to retain these things in our systems? And so that was what my question is about. And vegetation is one of the one of the primary ways to do that, both above ground and below ground.
I didn't see your question. What did you have a question about the sinks or?
Well, no, I don't have a question about the sinks. My question is whether or not you'll be looking at them.
Yeah, so the technical consultant ICLEI, they're working on the regional greenhouse gas inventory and sources of that, but they're also working on a jurisdictional level greenhouse gas inventory. And I, at this time, am not sure about the sinks, greenhouse gas sinks, but it might be something that is included in the regional greenhouse gas inventory.
That'd be great. I would encourage it, because what you look at is going to affect what you think the solutions are. And so with this kind of focus, if it doesn't look at the sinks, then it's going to ignore significantly nature-based kinds of solutions.
Morgan, I'll just chime in here and share that. So what BMC is working with ICLEI on are jurisdiction level greenhouse gas inventories, as well as the regional one. They're not providing us as much detail as we would typically include in our city-based greenhouse gas inventory, but ICLEI has released a new tool for local governments to support their greenhouse gas inventories and kind of like carbon accounting that's also fueled by AI called Climate View. So we are enrolled in a cohort of cities that are going to be using that tool. And we want to explore how we can create both more informative inventories for the city that look at emissions and also potentially air quality, but also I think, doing the broader carbon accounting when it comes to sequestration or capturing carbon as well. So yeah, but yeah, for what BMC is doing with ECLI right now, we won't reach that level of detail, unfortunately.
Thanks, Ava. And yeah, Ava's on our steering committee, so nice to see you.
May I? This is Donzel with Edgy. We have a air quality monitoring system which we are working with the Smithsonian Environmental Research Center, and we have 15 air monitoring sites to measure particulates around the city. We just got additional funding to expand that more, and then we're also working with Johns Hopkins and what they're doing with their air monitoring. We're co-locating with their air monitoring systems. I think it might be a good opportunity for us to have a conversation about those systems that we have in place. And they're publicly available all around the city. So people can go in real time, look at what their air quality is and their particulate matter is in their community just by walking down the street, and we're going to expand that program. So I think if we could share data, we've already hosted we're already hosting on our website real quality air monitoring information from the locations that we have. You could click on any location that's near you, and we're going to put out more working with working with Smithsonian and with Hopkins on doing that. So it might be a good source of data. So if it's data driven, we have a host site that provides that for the community, which you literally could go to it right now. So it does measure particulates. It does measure our work with Hopkins. They measure like rainwater and temperature and things like that, but we are actually working on particulates that are in the air in the communities of West Baltimore, South Baltimore. We try to focus on underserved communities that have not have their air, looked at. We're working around sites that we are targeting are around new construction. So the new tunnel that will be going in, the new train tunnel that will be going in West Baltimore, and the construction that will be going around there. We're looking at South Baltimore and what the new construction and air quality will be, not just from the incinerator, which we've talked about a lot, but also what the impact on air quality will be on the construction of the new developments in South Baltimore. So we're doing a lot of things. So I'd love to have another conversation with you about that and sharing information and data specifically, as you mentioned, around those projects and just around the city.
Yeah, I'm sure that when there's the jurisdictional level greenhouse gas inventories and everything, that we'll be able to more specifically project affiliate those sources and everything.
Thank you all very much. I really appreciate that. I'd like to just recognize that we have been joined by Commissioner Smith, and so have her recognized. And then Amy, if you can take us to the next speaker, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a little bit of a change in the order of our speakers. And so next we're going to have Jessa Weiss, who is the Director of Library Services with Station North Tool Library. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Jessa Weiss. I am a co-director here at the Tool Library. While I am pulling up my slides, I do see some familiar names in the room. I'm curious if folks have been to the Tool Library before. If you have, and don't mind dropping in the chat, maybe a tool you've borrowed, a class you've taken, I would love to see that. And just to know if folks have a sense of what we do here at the Tool Library. Please drop in the chat if you have any experience with the Tool Library. Does my screen look good? I'm used to Zoom. That looks good. Sweet.
Looks great.
Sweet. So, I'm seeing some folks. Yay, we have the wood shop, folks that need to get here. So the two types of behavior that I'm going to focus on that relates to the Tool Library is one, the power of borrowing instead of buying. And two, when we have broken items, repairing them instead of throwing them away. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about the Tool Library is that we're only for homeowners, that we're only for home repair. And the truth is we do a lot of different things here. So my goal is I'm going to go through some slides pretty quickly for 10 minutes, just so I have time for any questions you all might have. Like I said, my name is Jessa. I use they, them pronouns. I'm born and raised in Baltimore. I've been working at the Tool Library for 5 years now. I do some woodworking, some knife making. I run, one of my favorite parts of my job is I organize our Fix-It fairs that I'm going to talk about a bit. So this is a photo of me and my partner at our latest Fix-It fair. Just like so many people and tools that come in and out of our space every day. Really, the Tool Library, we're an independent 501c3, so we're a nonprofit that's all about making tools accessible to the community. But we found out very quickly, people don't just need tools, they need space, they need guidance on how to use the tools. So throughout the years, we've been around in Baltimore for 12 years now. We've really added to our services. So in case you don't know where we are, I always like to point out, where we are in the map. So we are right by Greenmount Cemetery, a little bit south of North Ave, very central in the city. So again, if you haven't made it, please come by, visit. I'm happy to give anyone a tour or talk to you in person. I'd love for folks to make it in. This is a little snapshot of the lending library. We fit a lot of tools into a small space. So we have over 3,000 tools available for borrow. Our membership is sliding scale, so we don't turn anyone away for lack of funds. You can pay monthly, 5, 10, 15, 20 a month, etc., or you can pay one amount for the year. We recommend at least $1 for every $1,000 of your income. So if you made $50,000, you could contribute $50 and have access to our whole inventory for the year. You can borrow up to 8 tools at a time. I thought for the purposes of this talk, I would kind of remind folks that this isn't just woodworking tools, lawn care tools. We also have repair tools, right? We have hopefully almost any tool you can imagine we have in stock. Our inventory is also searchable online. So if you go to toollibrary.org/inventory, then you can search and be like, do they have a ladder that I'm looking for? And hopefully the answer will be yes. But we also have things, this is a newer edition, like the iFixit phone repair kit. So I get really excited about how our classes connect to the lending library, because you can come in, take a sewing class, and then borrow a sewing machine and take it home with you. So we're really all about decoupling barriers to making, experimenting, creating, and repairing. So we don't just have the lending library. We have 30 plus classes. And yeah, again, I'm going to go pretty fast just for the sake of time, but we offer wood and metalworking classes. So both the fundamentals of woodworking with project-based classes, wooden utensils, picture frames, different ways of joining wood together. The knife making class is one of my favorite classes, so I like to highlight it. It's a 4-part class, and you'll leave with hopefully the sharpest chef's knife in your kitchen. More on the maintenance side, we recently added a sharpening class, so you could actually bring in up to 6 dull knives from home and learn how to hand sharpen them. Very satisfying. You will not be able to use a dull knife after you take that class, I hope. A sharp knife is a safe knife, we always say. Thanks for dropping the links and stuff too. That's super helpful. All right, so just a little shot of what our wood shop looks like, just so you can get a little sign. So then we also teach craft and design classes. So we've recently added some more sewing classes, block printing. A really fun date class is soap making. It's only 2 hours. Most of our classes are 3 hours. You come in, you can make your own soap, pick the scents and the color and everything. Weaving, our urban gardening design. Something I didn't put on the slide, but that might be relevant as well, is we added a composting class. That feels relevant to highlight. And then our home care and repair. So that is maintenance, tools and skills. So really taking it a step back. How do you use a drill? What's the difference between a hammer drill and an impact driver? Really just trying to create a safe space where anyone, regardless of your background with tools, can come in, feel seen, feel safe, learn something, and then continue their journey through borrowing tools. So then we also have plumbing, electrical, wall repair, tiling, all the words on the screen. I'm sitting in our craft and home repair classroom, so you can kind of see, maybe you can see both. I don't know how this works because I'm used to Zoom. But you can see some of the demos we use in here. We got electrical class tonight. All right, keeping it going. We've recently gotten deeper into the gender equity world. So again, just recognizing that different folks with different identities, it's not just the access to the tools. There's a lot of socio-emotional barriers that can go into being in a makerspace, using tools. So we also have specific classes for women, trans, and non-binary folks. Just a little example. I know, I think Amy dropped the toollibrary.org/classes. So you're welcome to read the class descriptions on there. So then again, in the spirit of creating pathways for folks, we do have open shop on Sundays. So when you're a member and you've taken shop safety, you can bring your projects in and use our wood shop, our knife shop, or the crafts room, just again to have designated workspace. Okay, so this is what I'm probably the most excited about, because it's one of my favorite parts of my job. So yeah, Fix It Fair is a completely free community repair event where people bring in broken items and we try to fix it with them. I always like to stress, this is not a drop-off thing where you throw us your broken item and you come back and it's magically fixed. Part of the purpose of the event is for us to really demystify the process of repair with you. So we will bring you along in the journey. If you're comfortable trying to undo a screw to take apart your blender, we'll ask you to be a part of it. Or if you don't want to touch tools, we'll do it with you and just explain verbally what we're doing. So this event has really grown since I've been on staff these past 5 years. We now have over 65 fixers who are super handy, super excited about donating their skills to community. And I just feel Baltimore, as someone born and raised here, Baltimore has a lot of broken stuff, a lot of broken systems. And rather than focus on that, I really see Baltimore as what should be the repair capital of the world. Like, I would love to rebrand all the brokenness we have here into an opportunity to learn repair together, and really just like share resources, and share expertise. Because when you fix a broken item, I don't mean to be corny. Like, I'm also Jewish, and repair is like very like a core Jewish value as well. But yeah, when the feeling of repairing something that was broken, I feel like for me gives me so much hope that like other things are capable of repair. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox there, but just to say that like this is really one of my favorite community events. Super beautiful, so many learnings, and we fix like so many items. I put some photos and some stats from the last event. So we have a little photo booth after your item's fixed. You can see on the left, we do knife sharpening. We've been getting a lot more toys, like kids coming with broken toys. Furniture has gotten really popular. But our last Fix-It Fair, in one day, we had over 280 people come, and we fixed 330 plus items in a single day. We partnered with Department of Public Works, with DPW for this, and they offered electronics recycling and textiles recycling. So we had almost 1 ton, so many pounds of items that were recycled. And they have just been an awesome partner with making this a little bit more like financially possible for us to offer this free resource to the community. And then you can see the breakdown of the types of items that we fix. A lot of appliances, miscellaneous, so many knives, so many articles of clothing that get fixed. We partner with Bike, which does like youth, they have Youth Bike Mechanics, awesome organization. If you haven't heard of Bike, BYKE, they did bike repair for us, instrument repair, all sorts of things. And I think I have some more, just like, we had like a real photographer come, so I couldn't help showing off some of the photos. I was like, look at these nice photos. So yeah, just so you can get a little sense of what Fix-It Fair is like. And I think I want to highlight the next Fix-It Fair. Good question. So right now we can only offer 2 Fix-It Fairs a year that are this scale. That's mainly due to like our staff capacity. My like not so secret dream job I keep speaking into existence is that I could do full-time community repair. So if you want to help me, you know someone that I should talk to so that we can hire more staff here at the Tool Library so I can do community repair all the time, please let me know. That's at the end of my presentation as an ask. So the next one isn't until November. We do one in the fall, one in the spring, and we just had one in April. Something we're exploring is, the name is not finalized, but like repair clinics and doing more mobile offerings. We've learned, we did one with Enoch Pratt. So we did a Fix-It Fair at the Central Branch. It was so much work, y'all, transporting all of our tools and consumables to the library. We might not do that again, to be honest. However, I'm really into the idea of doing, for example, we, with DPW, we're doing a mending clinic. So we're literally going to set up like the sewing machines, just mending off site. Totally doable. Something we're really excited to explore is doing more repair activities at a little bit of a smaller scale, just so we can meet people where we're at. We all know, I know DOT is in the building. Yeah, transportation issues are real. Not everyone can make it to the library. So we do want to explore more mobile offerings in the repair world as well. And I see some more questions in the chat. Keep populating the chat. I only have a few more slides, so I'm going to finish those, but then let me do a time check. Okay, and then any questions. I only have a couple more slides. So real quick, back to the theme of gender equity, we started something called Make Space. This is the first Friday of every month. Free open shop programming for women, trans, non-binary folks, 5 to 8 p.m. My best friend in this entire world, Kennedy, is going to be leading a Skillshare on zine making on June 6th. So if you identify as women, trans, or non-binary, want to come through, it's free. You don't need a membership for your first time. So come make some zines with us on June 6th. It's like a super fun time, cool way to see the space. Okay, I said this. Please, if you have thoughts on how we can build the repair movement in Baltimore, someone I should be talking to, I'm very like open to receiving any ideas, connections, thoughts there. And then, yeah, just a final plug to come visit us, borrow some tools, take a class, come to Open Shop, or come to an event. So yeah, that's all I have for the slides. And I'm just gonna look, yeah, keep dropping questions in the chat. Some folks have heard of Fix It Fair. I'm glad someone brought up the tool bank. So just the quick, I like to clarify because we get confused like on the regular. So the tool bank is a great resource. It's just for organizations. So if a school was trying to borrow 20 shovels for a community gardening projects, they would go to the tool bank. The tool library is for individuals. So you can borrow up to 8 tools, but you don't borrow the same tool. It's really like only you theoretically that's using the tool. And we're a little bit, our diversity of tools is much broader, but the tool bank also has like chairs and tables and speakers. So they're a little bit more for organizations. A minimum age for taking classes is a great question. The general, our classes are overall designed for adults. If you are 12 and up, you can take most classes with a parent guardian signature. And basically we have folks start out in shop safety. And if they, are able to like do well in safety, then they can kind of like graduate to some of the other classes. But if they're younger than like 14, we ask them to take shop safety first. And then we do have some classes like cyanotype printing, urban gardening, a few other ones that are like very youth friendly. Contact at DPW is Megan Ressler. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. And Sophia what is Sophia's last name? Sophia Hossein was kind of the original contact. Yeah, she's super rad. She kind of got the ball rolling on the partnership, but Megan has been kind of our regular partner there. Yeah. So cool. Can't wait to check it out. Love it. Middle Branch Maker Tech Space. Very cool. Yay, the photo booth. Love it. Yeah, so I think I hit all the questions in the chat, but I think we maybe have 2 or 3 more minutes if anyone has any other questions about the lending library, Fix It Fair, anything. I'm happy to answer questions or shoot me an email and I can answer them later as well. Oh, thank you, Mia. I appreciate that. That's very sweet.
While we're waiting to see if anybody else has any questions, and I don't want to take up time, but just to fill the space if people are thinking about questions, thank you so much for joining us. Part of why I wanted to reach out and include the tool library is just thinking about with tariffs and changing economies and things, that it's even more important for folks to be able to borrow rather than have to buy things, and to know how to repair things and learn different skills. And so it's really great to be able to share all the things that you have to offer.
Totally. Yeah. Our membership is growing rapidly. And the truth is we're actually just struggling to keep up in terms of our inventory because we have the same storage space. When I first started on staff, we had 1,000 members. Now we have 2,300 plus members. So we've added a lot of tools, but I like walked in today and we were out of cordless drills and I was like, I had to go to Ace and like buy more shovels because people keep borrowing all of our shovels. So the truth is Baltimore needs more tool libraries. I think we're kind of unique for nonprofits where we're like not trying to compete. We're like, no, the more tool libraries, the better. Yeah, because Baltimore, I mean, ideally, I think every neighborhood would have a tool library, probably a smaller scale, but we don't need to all own every item we need to use, every lawnmower, et cetera, et cetera. To Jared's question, folks have replicated the model. So we are actually, people don't know this, Baltimore has one of the largest tool libraries in the world by membership, inventory. We really are a leader, not to brag, just keeping it real. We are really a leader in the lending library sphere. I'm also I should have this. We helped create this toolkit on how to start your own tool library. Let me see. Okay, I found it. So this is another really cool resource. Just trying to share learnings with others about like what makes a successful tool library. A lot of tool libraries are fully volunteer run. So it's actually really unique that we have 4 full-time staff members. That has really made it so we can kind of, get to another level there. But yes, people have replicated the model. I wish more would is the other answer there. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, thank you again for the attention and for inviting us to speak. I think the sustainability piece is something I try to plug. I'm like, I know we're not what you think of when you think of an environmental nonprofit. Like, we're not Blue Water Baltimore. We're not like in that realm. But what we do really does connect with sustainability, community resiliency. My undergrad was in public health, so my parents are always like, when are you going to do a public health job? And I'm like, I am doing a public health job. Like, community resources are public health, are environmental justice, are health equity. So yeah, it was very validating to be invited to speak, and to meet you all. So thank you again. Feel free to email me, with any other questions or anything, but thank you again for having me.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. And so next we have Anya Smith from the Department of Transportation, and I will make Anya a presenter. Oh, okay, you've got it.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me? I can't see myself up here. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Anaya Smith. I am with iRide from Baltimore City's DOT, and I cannot wait to tell you about all of our wonderful programs today. So there's just a few things that we'll go over, just basic things. But we are a free service from the Baltimore City Department of Transportation. We assist with everything that you can think of that's outside of single occupancy driving. So carpooling, ride share, and things of that nature. I'm a team of one. I'm definitely a team of one. We're small, but we're mighty. But we also do partner with quite a few people. But I am the transportation marketing coordinator for iRide. So what does iRide do? What do I do? I help assist with Charm City Circulator, Harbor Connector, MTA Transit Services, and dockless vehicles by promoting these via advertisements and marketing, as well as keeping the public informed with resource literature. We also have a program called JFA Carpooling Program that's at 400 East Saratoga under the JFA Express Falls Way. I know I said that wrong, my apologies. But that is where you get priority discounted parking for $1 an hour for carpooling, as well as we have 2 new incentives. That just recently started where you can get $5 a day for carpooling for 90 days, and then up to $500 a month and for van pooling, which I'll get into a little bit more later. We also handle Baltimore Commutes, which is ride sharing, van pools, guaranteed ride home, and commuter cash, as well as we do public engagement, which would be bike to work day / week that we just finished last week, as well as speaking engagements, resource tabling, direct employer outreach as well. And that's more so our commuter focus. As far as our employer focused services, we also partner with MDOT and MTA for employer partner program, personalizing employer marketing materials, federal tax credit assistance, as well as conducting consultations, site visits and assessments, as well as handling commuter behavior surveys, a variety of different things for employers. And then as far as the marketing side of my job goes, I handle advertisement campaigns, graphic design, content creation, social media, websites, as well as event tablings and creating literature bags. So a little bit more about our big services. We have the Charm City Circulator, which is the free bus service that makes over 100 stops. We have over 1.3 million rides in 2024. So congratulations on that. And we actually plan to have 8 new buses coming up in between late this year and early next year. The Harbor Connector, this is one that many people don't know too much about. But the Harbor Connector is our free water taxi. Yes, our free water taxi. Free just like the Charm City Circulator. It's a 3-ferry fleet, and it runs Monday through Friday. We've had over 239,000 trips in 2024, and we're looking to increase that. I'm currently doing a rebrand for Harbor Connector, so please be on the lookout for that. The rebrand will be coming very, very soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. We also handle dockless vehicles, which are the lovely Lime and Spin rentable e-bikes and scooters. We actually have a new access program that starts on June 1st, where anyone who receives public assistance qualifies for enrollment for an 80% flat discount off of rides with no unlock fees, which you'll be saving based off the average ride, you'll be saving about $5 a ride, but it can be limited up to 4 rides a day. But overall, our dockless vehicles before this program have been doing amazingly. In April alone, we had over 215,000 trips and saved up to 16,000 in air savings. Commuter incentives. This is the one that everybody loves because this is a lot of money. Everybody loves to make money for doing what you already do. Go to work. So with our Baltimore Commutes ride sharing database, this is a huge database that we have in the DMV region that helps you connect with other people that may be on your way or going to the same place that you are that works in similar areas. With this, we also have Guarantee Ride Home. So when you are commuting sustainably, sometimes emergencies do happen, and you have up to 6 free emergency ride homes, whether it's your carpool canceled or things of that nature. You have to pick up your kid early. A lot of things fall under these emergency rides, but you get up to 6 free a year, and it's free to enroll. As well as Commuter Cash, which is our new app that was formerly known as Incentrip, where you can get financial incentives for choosing to commute more sustainably. So again, some more community incentives that I dived into would be the new carpooling and van pooling incentive, which is the $5 daily incentive for 90 days, and the $500 monthly incentive that we also work with Enterprise to help people get set up with van pooling, as well as our JFA carpool program that just launched earlier this year, where it grants priority $1 parking in the JFA lot to carpoolers. And Bike to Work Day, I'm so excited. Bike to Work Day was a huge success. I'm so proud of Bike to Work Day. Me and my team and partners have worked tirelessly to get this out. We gave out over 300 literature bags, 250 bike helmets. We had a almost 20% increase in registrants from last year, and a 27% increase in local events that were held from last year, as well as we got a proclamation of Bike to Work Day from Governor Moore that was presented. So educating Baltimore is something that I'm doing now. I love to table, and the beautiful ladies that you see in the pictures are from MDOT. We table a lot. I lean on MDOT, and MDOT leans on me a lot when we do these tabling events where we're going to Perscalas. We went to UMB, and we have a lot more coming up soon. So this is probably one of my favorite parts, is actually engaging with the community and talking with the community. Is hands down the best part, as well as giving out literature bags. I actually have a literature bag. If you can still see me, this is one of our literature bags, and we just stuff it full of everything that I've talked to you about today, as well as some fun goodies, because everybody loves free giveaway. So yes, definitely let's connect. If you have an employer that offers employee benefits or we would like them to offer employee benefits, definitely reach out to me. If you know anyone that is looking to table, if you have anything that you would like for me to table at, I'm always down. Me and MDOT tend to go, and me and community engagement tends to table. We're trying to spread this as far and wide as possible throughout the city. And I definitely would love any introduction emails you could provide, as again, I'm a team of one that leans on partnering organizations and companies to help spread the word about iRide and all these great incentives that we have. So yes, feel free. All the contact information will be me. The website, it's me. The email and the phone number is me, as well as all social media. It's me. So I'm very personable. So definitely do not feel afraid to reach out. I love to connect. So yes, thank you for listening to me talk. That is my presentation. Oh, do we have any questions?
Thanks so much, folks. Commission members, you're welcome to raise your hands if you have questions, or if others have questions, you can put them in the chat. And one question that I have, I know that we have someone from DOT signed up to table at our sustainability open house at the end of June. I wasn't sure if you with iRide, if you're already planning to be part of DOT's table, but if you're not already part of that group, we definitely would like to have you at our open house.
Yes, I would definitely love to be there. And I'm on my phone doing this, so if there are any questions, let me know so I can actually pull it up and look.
So far, no questions, just lots of people thanking you for all the information that you shared, and folks very excited to see everything that you have to offer.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And again, we have tons of literature bags. So if you want literature bags, I can definitely just connect with me and I can get you some. I also have digital versions of it as well. But our biggest thing is definitely follow the social media pages. They're new, but they're mighty, and a lot of new information is coming that way as well. So thank you again so much. I very much appreciate it.
Looks like Dunzel has his hand up. No questions? Thank you so much. It was really great to hear everything that you have to offer, and great to hear all the excitement that you show for what you do.
Thank you. It was great being here. Thank you for extending the invite for me to let you all know.
Yeah, great. And then our final speakers, we have two food waste fellows who have been with the Office of Sustainability this year, and they are going to present next. I'm not sure which one of you will be sharing your slides.
That would be me.
That'd be you? Okay.
Yeah, let me just share that really quick.
Okay.
Is it visible?
Yep, great.
All right. Hello, my name is DeAndre Hawkins. I am employed at the Office of Sustainability with the Maryland Climate Corps, along with the other fellow that I work with, Kayla Abrams.
Good afternoon. Evening. My name is Kayla Abrams, and as DeAndre mentioned, I'm one of the two food waste associates and fellows with the Baltimore's Office of Sustainability. Today we'll be talking about some of the work we've been doing throughout our fellowship and how we're promoting behavior change as it relates to food waste prevention. Okay, so before we start talking about the work we've been doing, we're going to give an overview of the program we're a part of called the Maryland Climate Corps, which is a subgroup within the Maryland Service, within the broader Maryland Service Year option. It is a 9.5-month fellowship that provides young adults with opportunities to build a green career ladder and gain career skills through meaningful career service. Throughout the fellowship, fellows engage in activities that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and build green infrastructure and improve community resilience to climate disaster. The program is administered by the Maryland Department of Service and Civic Innovation and the Chesapeake Bay Trust.
The program provides a few key things. One of those main focusing points being mentorship. The program provides one success coach from their own hostess staff, along with a mentor from our host site, which is a point of contact in case we run into any issues on the job, along with monthly required trainings from the core service year option, along with Chesapeake Bay Trust trainings, which cover topics like leadership, climate change, job searching and resume building, environmental justice, and environmental literacy. Early on in the program, we were put onto a website called Build Within, which is a tracking website that allows us to assign ourselves tasks and goals throughout the day, along with getting a virtual learning hours in, and also helping us just have a list for what to do during the day. During the program, we are expected to complete 144 real-time instruction hours, which would be gained through virtual learning, and 1,500 on-the-job training hours, which is just attending and being present at your host site. During the year, we're also expected to visit at least 3 host site visits, or we're supposed to have at least 3 host site visits throughout the year. And at the end, we get a $6,000 completion stipend, which could be used towards any educational resource, or you could take it up front, but it would be taxed. And then if you've also completed all the Build Within hours along with the 3 host site visits, you get a certification of apprenticeship from the program.
Okay, in this slide, we're going to be talking about why we're targeting food waste, why we're targeting behaviors that encourage food waste prevention. And there are essentially 4 parts of this. The first being the economic incentive. An average family of 4 can save about $1,800 per year, which is $450 per person, which is typically a very motivating incentive to households. Another incentive is how convenient and accessible incorporating food waste prevention behaviors into your life can be, such as meal planning and prepping, storing food correctly, and preserving food and sharing food. Another is that there is an environmental benefit, which means that less greenhouse gas emissions are being produced because less food is going to waste, such as less greenhouse gases such as methane and CO2 is being produced. There's also the fact that less land is being used less land is being cleared for agriculture, which contributes to deforestation and habitat destruction. And finally, food waste prevention supports food security. Through food recovery and efficient distribution, we can improve food availability and access within our communities.
One of our main focuses of the year was to manage and oversee the food scrap drop-offs at the Jones Falls Expressway Farmers Market and the 32nd Street Farmers Market, which is a variety of tasks, but the main ones are maintaining the sites, making sure that they're accessible, and that we have set up supplies and other sort of information that will be necessary. We also collect metrics on household participation, contaminations, and the amount of food scraps collected in pounds. We take resources, we develop them, and we promote them at the farmers markets to get more people involved in the space and to activate the space further. And by coordinating that information with the Office of Sustainability, and the Office of Waste Diversion, and the farmers market staff themselves, we also have an outlet for if anything goes wrong at the farmers markets, if we need to talk to somebody about what could be improved, what to work on, things of that nature.
This is EPA's wasted food scale, and we kind of just included this to show that the preferred way to deal with surplus food is to feed it to animals, which we're doing at the farmers markets. This is preferred because the certain resources such as water, labor, and transportation are not being used. And these are a few pictures from the farmers market. You can see our setup and some people dropping off their food scraps.
And to end off this section, we'd like to go over some metrics that we've gotten throughout our time here. From November 2nd, 2024 through May 20th, 2025, we have filled 644 bins of food scraps, which then in turn has allowed us to recover over 22,000 pounds, or around 10 tons worth of food. Within that time, we've also caught 1,600 instances of contamination, with our most common contaminant being coffee filters, which makes up 841 or 52.56% of all contamination. And we've had nearly 5,000 people drop off food scraps, which our busiest day was March 29th, 2025, where 192 people came to the market that day and dropped off their food scraps.
In this next segment of the presentation, we'll be talking about some improvements we've made to the food scrap collection sites.
We've made improvements in 3 key areas, one of which is providing more sanitary items such as hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes, and tongs. We've made more efforts to promote resources and events like the growth centers, some sustainability events, and the DPW events, and general events related to sustainability. And we've also improved the amount of material we're sending out, like the food storage guide, the composting at home guide, and the food matters pamphlet.
These are some posters that we've created to combat contaminations at the farmers market. So as you can see in the very left of the screen, our most common contaminant is coffee filters, followed by produce stickers, paper towels, paper bags, and compostable bags. Another improvement that we've been working to incorporate at the farmers market is the introduction of games as a vehicle for education. One of those games being called Store the Produce, which is a sorting game that utilizes magnets and a magnetic whiteboard to sort a variety of different food items into sections that represent areas to store food at home. And the purpose of this is to maximize food's shelf life and avoid food waste.
Another game that we were experimenting with was Recycling Right the Game, which is directly inspired by DPW's Recycling Right game. It is a drop and match game conducted physically using whiteboards and magnets, which could also be conducted virtually. And the purpose of that is to educate and more so make more people aware of what the residential convenience centers and what curbside recycling does and does not accept.
Okay, so one of the main projects that we've been working on throughout our fellowship is a e-blast campaign. And there are essentially 2 parts of this. One is focused on food waste prevention, and the other is recycling and upcycling. And the ultimate goal of this is to create to build stewardship among city employees. There are 6 e-blasts in total, each kind of having their own call to action. So e-blast 1's call to action is to reduce your food waste at home. And to support this, we provide tips on how to reduce your food waste and also a guide on choosing like the best method for meal planning and prepping for each person. The second call to action for the second e-blast is to understand proper food storage techniques. And this goes over like kitchen storage and food labels such as sell by, best by, and buy by. And the third e-blast is to drop off your food scraps. And this is kind of promoting the residential centers we have in Baltimore, as well as the farmers market drop-offs.
E-Blast 4's call to action is to repurpose your food scraps, which goes over common but edible food scraps. It also goes over food preservation techniques and resources you can use to better repurpose your food scraps. E-Blast 5's call to action is rethinking what you throw away, specifically what upcycling is, with examples, and it also covers recycling, and it also goes over what the acceptable items at DPW's recycling facilities. And for the final e-blast, the call to action was composting at home, which gives a basic rundown on what composting is. 2 short guides on how to compost at home in 2 separate ways, and bring attention to DPW's composting workshops.
These are some of the graphics that we made for the e-blast campaign. So you can see methods of food preservation in the corner here, and the use by, sell by, best of use by information, as well as like how to use certain food scraps. And we've been supporting food distribution at the Pratt Free Market in Highlandtown, which is a free grocery store, free grocery store. And we're in the beginning stages of supporting food rescue operations there.
Along with the food scrap drop off and the e-blast campaign, we've also assisted with other miscellaneous work around the office. 2 of the main ones being the annual report and open house planning, along with various webinars on composting, assisting at growth center events, giving out presentations like this one at sustainability commissions, and working with the Sustainability Waste Working Group.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask, please.
I believe that's it, yeah.
Denzel put a question in chat about fish, accepting fish and composting of fish.
At the farmers markets, we would not take it. However, that would probably be something that maybe Sisson Street or one of the residential drop-offs would probably take, because the goal at the farmers markets is to repurpose the food scraps to feed pigs, since a lot of the scraps there go to feed pigs. And so we don't want to put any like meats or cheeses or any like dairies in there.
I have a quick question. Really great work that you both have been doing. Do you know what might have caused that large drop-off day in March?
It might have been because of the weather. I think that was a nice day. I can't remember too much, but we did have a lot of traffic that day.
So it wasn't like correlated with any of the e-blasts that you've had, anything like that?
We did get comments from some people saying that they did see the e-blast, but not a lot of comments were about people seeing it.
That's exciting. Great work.
Thank you.
Congratulate and commend both Kayla and DeAndre. They were really fortunate to have them supporting work across the office as a part of the first cohort of the Maryland Climate Corps. And their term will be ending next month. We will miss them, but they've been doing such great work. So, and great job to you both on the presentation tonight.
Thank you.
Yep, I wanted to also chime in. You guys have done a great job. I don't know if a lot of folks know that for the Office of Sustainability, one of our performance measures that we report on each year is related to our outreach. And it's been so great the way that you guys have expanded our outreach capabilities and diversified the different methods. Like, I don't know that our office has ever done the employee e-blasts, or if we have, it hasn't been a series the way that you've done as far as building on the educational messages that you're putting out. And I also want you to teach me and our other staff the games that you do, because I think that would be a great addition to some of our tabling, is to be able to continue to offer that as something interactive for when we do tabling.
All right, we'll do.
Anybody else have questions?
Yeah, this is Natalie. Great job, DeAndre and Kayla. I'm not sure if my question came through in the chat, but I was just curious if you guys collect zip codes from folks dropping off at the food market or farmers market rather?
We do not collect zip codes. One of the things that we've been working on is to make it as accessible and easy as possible to drop off your food scraps. So we really kind of wanted to be like a quick thing that someone can do throughout their day. That way it encourages them to come more often. But we do sometimes, through the newsletter sign up sheets that we have there, we do sometimes see people write down like their neighborhood. So.
And that was the last of our speakers. So, Jared and Mia, do you have anything else?
I think that's it. We just need for people to take a look at their emails and respond back to you and complete the application. And then we'll see everyone hopefully on June 18th.
Oh, and that reminded me of one last thing. Also, everyone in general who's interested in attending the open house, please use the registration link to sign up. And that includes commission members. Filling out the registration for the Eventbrite will let us know which commission members will be able to attend.
Okay. I think that adjourns May's meeting. Have a great afternoon, everyone.